Go ahead, Colin.
Hey, Coach Anderson, I know a lot of the hitters on this team were at that UCLA regional 2 years ago, so they're not lacking for that big game experience. But what did this weekend tell you about your team, win and lose?
I mean, we're fierce competitors, absolutely. I thought Jordan Weber had an awesome weekend, both Friday and today. She deserves 2 wins, absolutely. And we got to figure out how to close some games here down the stretch. And it gets into pitching wise. I'll just say that just a little too cerebral in understanding what's at stake rather than just going out and throwing. That's where they need to get better. And, the last thing I just told them is that's why in Major League Baseball, the closers make millions of dollars because it is tough to close a game. But we just got to be tougher mentally and really concentrate in every single pitch. But I will say offensively that we have, we're strong through our whole lineup. We're real competitive. They're unbelievable players, unbelievable hitters, really happy with our defense, but we just have to find a way to win those games rather than blowing them.
Natalie and then Eric.
Hey, Coach, with how close this game was, what was the conversation like in the locker room with you kind of talking to these girls? Does it sting, a little bit extra more just because of how close it was?
They're hurt. I'm hurt. My staff is hurt. It's heartbreaking losing like that. But again, we got to learn from it. And that's the big thing is you got to win those games and you got to close it out. And really it's them understanding. We talk about this offensively a lot, that we're never out of a ball game, that we could win it at any time. And they also have to have that same concentration defensively and on the mound, that the opponent has an opportunity to win on every single pitch. And especially when you're playing the number 3 team in the country, anybody can hit the ball out. So we have to concentrate every single pitch and not think that we've had the game won just because it's the 7th inning with 1 out.
Hey, Larissa, in the past, you've been able to quickly encapsulate and think big picture about what every game means. Can you give us what the message is about what this game meant going forward and maybe this series?
The big thing is I think, and I'm hoping that with yesterday's win that we solidified our opportunity to be able to host a regional. When you have a win against the number 3 team in the country, it gives you a little bit of more validity. But I think from the learning experience is exactly what I just said, that we know offensively we're never out of a ball game, and we got to do a better job in realizing that the opponent's never out of a ball game. From here on out, every game we're going to play is going to be like this. It's going to be to the wire, and we never have the game won. Like, the game is never in the bag until that final out is made, and we just have to be tougher in those situations and not give in, not feel the pressure of, oh, the winning run is on deck, or, oh, the winning run's on second base. It doesn't matter if it's in the first inning or the last inning. And I'm seeing that especially our pitchers are kind of getting caught up in that moment. Again, they've never been here. So it's a new experience for them, but they have to learn from it. And it's just going to get harder throughout the stretch of it. Okay,
Ben and then Caleb.
Coach, similar situation to what ended up happening on Friday. Was there anything special that you're talking, any kind of message you're giving directly to Lauren Crings, who was the one who ended up giving up the losing runs today?
I wasn't talking to her. I mean, when she came in the game, I brought her in rather than Schumacher or Nichols because we needed a strikeout, and that's what Crings can do. I mean, she did a fabulous job, striking out 2 batters in the heart of their lineup in that situation. That's tough. But that just shows me what her ability is and her potential is. And when she gets a strikeout of the leadoff batter in the 7th inning, you think everything's great. And then as soon as she hit that batter, and I immediately went out to the mound, it was like, you got good stuff. You're spinning the ball real nice. Don't squeeze it. Don't feel, it's not no other situation that you've ever been in before. But she just got behind and probably thought a little bit more about what the situation and what was at stake rather than just trusting what she can do.
Weber was obviously having a great weekend, and she was doing really good tonight. I mean, other than a few walks and then a couple hit batters, she was absolutely dealing in those first 5 innings. She gave up a couple hits in the 6th. So what was going through your head when you decided to pull her from the game and put Crings in?
So being the head coach and the pitching coach, I'm with the pitchers every single workout, every single pitch that they throw. So I can see when fatigue is starting to set in. And Jordan's velocity is very average, 59 to 61. And when she starts to lose her legs, then I know she's tired. And when she's tired and she throws a rise ball, which is a very, very taxing pitch, then the ball starts to flatten out. So probably in about the end of the third, the fourth inning, when I went out to the mound, and I always go to Hattie first to see what Hattie's seeing behind the plate, the ball starts to flatten out, but she was hitting good location. So it's just a matter of, okay, well, she's still throwing a no-hitter. I'm not going to pull her when she's throwing a no-hitter. And as soon as the ball gets hit hard, it's okay. The ball is flat. They're on time. She's not getting that late movement to get some easy outs. So it's just a matter of, how much longer can she go and still get some batters out? And then it just reaches a point that it's time to bring someone else in because she just doesn't have anything left in the tank.
Colin?
Yeah, Larissa, kind of an extension of that. I think past couple weekends, Mississippi State, and then this weekend, Jordan has taken no hitters, one hitters, two hitters into the fifth or sixth inning. What is it about her, the pitch arsenal she has, and then also her mental makeup that is allowing her to be that successful this late in the season?
She's been doing that all year long. I mean, there's been a number of games, and I can remember one in particular that she had a perfect game when we were playing down at Florida Atlantic, going into the last inning. And she can throw her rise ball on 4 different planes. So she can throw it low at the knee, and it just has enough movement. She has the revolutions that she has, and on our scale, like she can be in the upper 30s. So that ball is spinning 30 times before it gets to home plate, and throwing at the velocity she does. It's one of those that it's deceiving, and it looks like it's coming in harder because it's spinning so much. So that's why you get great hitters that will be out in front a little bit and reaching for it because they're seeing how much it is spinning. And then when she has that changeup on, which she did today, then she's really, really effective. And that's the key with her. She didn't have her changeup on Friday. She definitely had her changeup today, which is why she was able to go a lot deeper into the game.
I don't want to bring up Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, it still hurts.
Natalie, go ahead.
This week before you head out to Tennessee, what's going to be the focus for you guys?
Learning from this, and we just talked about in the locker room, is that, again, we want to host a regional. So we're going to have control over that. Tennessee is a very, very well-coached team. They have a quality pitcher that we're going to have to beat twice. So it's just making sure that we stay competitive, that we can't get too down because of these 2 losses, that it should have a fire in their belly, and they need to be telling themselves, I don't like feeling like this. Like, we had our opportunities. It was literally in our hands, and it was taken away from us. And we have to remember that now for every single game the rest of the season, and know in the 7th inning, we don't want to feel the way we're feeling right now. And we got to make sure that we're closing those games. And it's really going to start with Tennessee and then carry that momentum right into the SEC tournament and into regionals and super regionals and beyond.
Eric?
Coach, I got to ask you about Cassie Shomo. Just when you see her in left field with those, just another athletic diving catch. I mean, is it just when the ball's off the bat and you see it going to left, is it just Cassie's going to get it no matter where it falls? Or is there anything you think she can't do in the outfield at this point? Or just take us through that from your perspective.
I would have liked to see her pull back that home run. I mean, I'll tell you that much. She can climb to the top of the fence. But, I mean, Shomo is the type of player. She is fearless. She has absolutely no fear. And her diving in, I mean, we tell the outfield, do not go head first into a fence, and Cassidy does not care. Like, she's going to catch that ball regardless of where it is, and just runs almost like a linebacker, like full speed, and it has full intention of catching that ball. And what helps is that we're able to play Brooke Wilmus over on the right side of second base a little bit more because Shomo has such unbelievable range.
Colin?
Hey, Coach, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, but good weekend, past couple of weekends for Emma Robbie. Just what have you seen from her working her way back into the lineup after you gave Frizzell a little bit of a run?
Yeah, pitch selection. Like, she's understanding what she's capable of doing. I mean, she's a double hitter. When that ball's up in the zone, that's what she's really trying to do, is just hit it as hard as she possibly can. And if the ball's elevated enough, she's going to hit it out of the ballpark. She would get down, and she struggled a little bit when she started to chase the ball down. Like, that's not her strength and her forte. So she's really jumping on the ball when it's middle up and belt up. Emma Robbie is one that her will has really exceeded her skill. Like, she is so driven, and her work ethic is so unbelievable. Every single day in practice, she is just competing nonstop. And there's been, I gave Frizzell a shot, and there was a game in particular where Frizzell was up with a game-winning run and Frizzell struck out. And Emma Robbie took that to heart, that it's her responsibility to make sure she's not putting a freshman in that role. And that just shows you the leadership that Emma Robbie has. She didn't want Frizzell to feel that way. She wanted the game on the line with her up to bat. And so to almost protect that freshman. And that's just leadership.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys, for being here.